Hi and welcome to lesson 7 on getting started with Unity. In this tutorial we're going to add wind and fog to our world. Now this is a really great way of making your world look just that extra more realistic, make it feel more realistic. Often you don't even notice the backgrounds shifting or the trees blowing in the wind, but when they actually are included, it just has that effect of making your game or simulation just seem more realistic. So, in order to do this, we're trying to do two different things here. There's wind and fog, and we do them both in separate ways. So let's do the wind. We do that by going to Game Object at the top, 3D Object, and then Wind Zone. Now, that has created a wind zone, but you can't see it here, so I'm just going to scroll right out and we can see where it is. I click on that. I'm going to click on the Move tool, and you can see now my wind zone is kind of there in the mountains. So I'm going to drag it over, drag it down, make sure that it hasn't disappeared into the ground, so that's where it is. And I'm going to stretch it out, so resize it. And I'm going to stretch it so it's quite large. Now it doesn't actually show anything. You won't see the wind zone, but it is there. If this number up here, y, is below 0, that means the wind zone is actually below the ground. So I'm going to just move that to above, so it's now, there we go, that's above the ground now. Pop it there. So what I want to do is I want these trees in this area to blow. So if I press play, we should see that the trees start to move in the wind. There you go. And also the grass will shift as well. Again, it's rather laggy, but when you publish this game, it smooths it out a bit. So over the other side, yep. Now that's rather blustery. We can actually change the strength of the wind. So I press escape, play, and on the inspectors option at the side, I can see that my strength, I can change these numbers here to actually make it softer. So I'm going to change my wind, my main value, let's change that to 0.2, and the turbulence, I'm going to bring that number down as well, 0.2. Again, just experiment with these numbers to see what difference it makes. Let's see if that's helped. Okay. That's a little better. Again, play around with the numbers till it's moving the way you like. The next thing I want to do is add fog into my world. So here's how I do that. I'm going to go to Assets, Import Package, and Particle Systems. That's going to import the bits and pieces we need. Just wait a moment for that. Okay, that's imported. So now, under my project menu, standard assets, I've got another little folder here called Particle Systems. Just scroll down to prefabs, and you have all these different choices of different things that you want in your environment. So yes, you could have smoke or steam or fire. What we're after here is a bit of a dust blowing in the wind. So I'm going to drag the dust over to this section where I know I'm going to be starting. Let go. And you can see there in the game menu, we have this sort of fog or dust effect blowing across. And you can change the direction and how many particles and how quickly they move, and different things like that as well. So you can actually see them in a bit more detail. If I stretch that out, I can make that area that they're blowing in a lot larger. I can move it to where I want them to be. And raise the height of it as well. So let's have a play and see what that looks like. Okay, so you can just about faintly see the dust and the trees blowing in the wind. It's starting to look pretty good. Move back. Press space to jump, and I can go for a bit of an explore across my world. And you can see the dust is blowing through there just nicely. Awesome. Okay, next time we'll see what we can do to make it look even more realistic. We can change the sky, the light. We'll begin to add more objects into the world.